Hey guys, Rowley here from the B2B Marketing Lab, and I'm with our main man, Dan Tyre from HubSpot.
I love it. I'm a huge Rowley fan and all in for B2B marketing, and anything I can do to help, I'm right there
You
with
are
it.
too kind, Dan, you're too kind. So, we've got Dan for a couple of minutes, and I wanted to ask some key questions. So, Dan, you're an experienced salesman, you've been in a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah.
Yep, background, where's...
All right, so I'm 60 years old. Can you believe I'm 60? I was giving a presentation in San Francisco on my birthday, June 29th, and I just turned 60. And I'm asking the audience, okay, how old do you think I am? And it was 100 entrepreneurs, and the guy turns to me and he goes, 80. I'm like, do I look 80?
Wow.
And I go, do you even know anybody that's 80? He goes, no. And then I had to come clean, and I haven't asked that question to anybody, so I'm asking it to like your audience today. But no wrinkles, feel good.
You look good, Dan. You look very good. Trust me.
I live in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Right.
I've been married for 29 years.
Right.
I've been with HubSpot almost 12 years. Right at the very beginning, I'm employee number 6. I started my sales career selling books door to door to work my way through university. And then when I graduated, I was a bass player in a heavy metal rock and roll band. Oh yeah, hair down on my shoulder. It was awesome.
Dan, have you got any pictures? We need to see some
I
pictures.
got tons of pictures. Just Google it or go to Facebook and you'll see like the scary Dan Tyre. And then I started my formal business sales career selling computers in Boston.
Right.
And as luck would have it, my boss decided to jump to a startup. And I'm like, what's a startup? He's like, it's a young company. I go, all right, we'll have a good time. He goes, I want to take you with me. I'm like, why? He goes, you're a good salesperson. It'll help us grow the company. I'm going, no, I'm going to stay where it is. He goes, I'll give you $3,000 more. I'm like, I'm in. Let's go.
Sign me up.
So I started with this company called Businessland in 1982, and the company grew to $1.4 billion over the next 10 years.
Wow.
So I worked in Boston and in San Francisco and Los Angeles and Colorado, Silicon Valley, and came back to work in New York City. And it was a 10-year run. It was great. Then I started my own company, an agency in Needham, Massachusetts, not far from Boston. Grew that to $5 million, sold it to a Phoenix-based company, right? And that's how I moved to Phoenix in 1997.
Right.
My third startup went bankrupt, right? And so it taught me a lot about business planning and humility, right? My fourth startup got bought out by Microsoft. And my vice president of sales was this guy, Brian Halligan. So when Microsoft bought Groove, right, he went to MIT. I met Dharmesh. I went to work for Microsoft for a year, and when they started HubSpot, Brian called me up and said, would you start the company with us? And I'm like, sure, let's give it a shot. And of course now HubSpot 12 years later is a leader in the inbound revolution, and it's been super intense.
Dan, that's an incredible story.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I've been married for 29 years. I've got 2 beautiful kids. I've enjoyed lots of business success. My mission statement is to do the most good that I can for the universe.
Right.
So
that's a great one. That's really good.
It's so much fun, right? The whole inbound revolution is all about helping people. It's all about treating them like human beings. It's all about helping everyone, and then some people are going to want to do business.
Your nature and the inbound revolution, it seems to go hand in hand.
Does.
You're a very helpful kind of guy. You're willing to educate. You want to teach everyone about the new way of doing marketing, the new way of doing sales.
Rowley, so what happened is I've been in business, business person for 38 years. I know I sound like your grandfather, but that's just the way it is. Everything changed in 2007.
Right.
Because in the old days, I would say, you need to buy Rowley, and I would call you up and qualify you on the Connect call, right? And there was no other way to get the information, so you would have to listen to me. And you were a little annoyed about it, even you, who was a nice guy, but you were like, okay, that's what I got to do if I want to buy something. You need to understand, does it come in purple? Does it fit in the back of my truck? How much is it weigh and all that kind of stuff? Today, right, that's insanity, right? If I ever called you up and was pushy over the phone, what would you do?
I'd probably say no thanks and pop it back down.
And then you tell all your friends, there's this idiot who called me, never talk with him, right? And the next thing you're out on Twitter going, this Dan Tyre guy, he's horrible. And the next thing you know, I'm not a good salesperson anymore. So today, the way we do it is to help, right? And in 2007, that was brand new. I was the first salesperson for HubSpot. I worked for this guy, Mark Roberge.
Right.
And Mark was the first vice president of sales, chief revenue officer for HubSpot. And Mark was brilliant. And the reason he was brilliant is he wasn't a vice president of sales. He was an engineer. So he looked at it from a way of understanding how to solve a problem, how to solve the equation.
Right.
And what he said is the more people you help, the more people that will eventually buy from you. And he was right. And we figured out this whole process that if you help a lot of people, a certain number of them are going to be more educated and more interested in working with you. And so over the last 10 years, HubSpot's grown to a $500 million US company. And the inbound revolution, the amazing thing is that it's just getting started. Yeah. There are tons of people in the UK, less than 10% of people actually practice this as a way of generating business. But you like helping people, right?
Exactly.
Most people do, right? Some people say, no, that's not the way we do it in our business. And I'm like, okay, well, you're wrong, and I can prove it, right? That's the way people like you curry favor by giving some value, right? And then sooner or later, people say, all right, I need more value. And you say, all right, well, if you want to go to the next level, you got to pay a little money. And they're like, okay, we already have built trust. I'm happy to help you out. I'm happy to become a paying customer. We call that the code funnel. It's super impactful, and it's the way companies scale in 2018. So 2007, everything changed in the inbound revolution. And then in 2016, everything changed again. 2016 is the good old days, right? So in 2014, remember 2014?
Just about.
Okay.
Just about.
You were 12.
I think so.
In 2014, the average company had 6 competitors.
Right.
Okay. How many competitors did the average company have in 2018?
6 to, let's say, 12? 13?
All right. That's what most people say. It's actually 22.
Wow.
According to HubSpot research, there's this brilliant lady, Mimi N. She's our researcher, and she goes to HubSpot research. You can just Google HubSpot research. You'll see all of this great information. She said in 2018, the average company has 22 competitors. So in 2016, you would be listening, and you'd be like, okay, I'm listening. A generalist was all right. But today, if it doesn't work, if it doesn't resonate with you immediately, if it's not all about you, you just move on to one of the other, you just got choice. You carry around your iPhone, right? If you download an app and it doesn't download, you're like, all right, you're dead to me. I'm never going to download it again. If you get in, do you remember there was something called a user manual? A user manual. It's like a little book.
I haven't heard that for a long time.
I know. Do you remember when you were 9 and you get a user manual and your dad would put things together? Who's ever heard of a user manual in 2018?
We've got these now.
I know. So now all of a sudden, if it doesn't work instantaneously, if you just don't cycle in and it just works, so you're like, all right, I'm just going to move on to the next thing. So everything has changed. So now you have to have this great customer experience. Now you have to make sure that you're adding value in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Now you want to be more helpful, and the companies that follow that process are going to be insanely successful. Right? The companies that don't, they're going to have problems. Right? I tell them they're going out of business. They just don't know it yet. They don't realize it, because most people would prefer to get help rather than sold, right? And that's the whole foundation of the inbound revolution.
Yeah, because you see nowadays the majority of guys we're looking for aren't the traditional sales guys.
I know.
They're just nice guys wanting to help people.
That's it's smart. They're curious. Right? They understand what the customer wants. They're active listeners. Right, that's easy for you. You're a very good listener. I'm not such a good listener. I need to squeeze my lion when I listen. Oh my goodness, guys, I just want to talk. But the number one attribute of salespeople, for customers today is active listening. Right. Understanding what somebody wants. And then you have to have a range of options so that you can counsel people of the right approach to take. And what we found is that over time, it's not so much the actual product that you have, because when you have 22 competitors, the products are pretty much the same. It's the process of how you come on board, how you start the relationship, and making sure that it's a good.
So you said the first 5 to 10 minutes, that's when you've got to start earning value. So in that first call, how would you approach that first call?
So I'd say, Rowley, this is Dan from HubSpot. And then I'd stop. I'd pause. I'm going to pause for 20 seconds. Because in your brain, you're thinking, Dan from HubSpot, Dan from HubSpot, Dan from HubSpot. How do I know this guy?
Right.
And you're trying to think, is this the guy who lives upstairs from me? is this the guy who has like 13 cats? Is this my brother-in-law? Is he on my darts team? And then I'm trying to, then you're like, okay, why are you calling? And I'll ugh. Have you ever heard me ugh? Ugh. Doesn't sound like you're expecting my call. Yes, let me hear you ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. Rowley has always been an excellent ugger, right? It's a funny ugh. When you say ugh, people are like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then you say, it doesn't sound like you were expecting my call. And they're like, no, I wasn't expecting your call. And then you'll move to a connect call positioning statement, which is a statement that says, I call chief marketing officers who have a lot of things on their plate. But the senior management team keeps putting more things on their plate. Does that resonate with you? People sit, they'll think, they'll stroke their chin, and they'll go, yes.
Yeah, it does.
And then you'll say, tell me more about that. And then they'll just start talking. And what you've done in the first few minutes is you've introduced yourself, you've offered to help, you've said a funny line, which is ugh, right? And then you've got them to start talking, right? And that, if you and I met face to face, it'd just be what we'd naturally do. We'd joke around a little bit, and we'd ask some questions. Over the phone, right, it becomes a little harder, but it's essentially the same thing. You're trying to be a human being, you're trying to be nice, you're trying to find and show value in the very thing.
So you've had a 5 to 10 minute conversation and you haven't even mentioned anything about what HubSpot does?
No, when we cycle in, I don't want to sell you HubSpot. All I want you to do is know who I am and offer to help. And you're like, all right, why are you doing that? And I just say, that's the way we do it. And they're like, why are you helping me? Some people are like really skeptical. And I'm like, no, all I want to do is help. And they're like, help with what? And usually in HubSpot will say, well, help you grow better. Do you want to grow better? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, well, what do you need to grow better? And they're like, well, what do you got? And I go, I got education. The HubSpot Academy is unbelievable. I think it's 84 hours and 16 certifications. Or HubSpot Research is free research we give to everybody. Or now we got free software products, right? I ask people, do you like free software? And they're like,
have you ever had a no to that question?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
They're like, crazy.
Exactly. They're trying to figure out, is there a gimmick? What is Tyre trying to do? And I go, all right, we'll give you a free CRM. And they go, it's free? I go, yeah, it's free. Is it like really free? And I'm like, yeah, it's free forever, right? And they're like, well, why are you doing that? I'm going, because that's the way it works in 2018, right? We add value, and then if you want a little bit more like functionality on the software, then you have to pay a little more. But it's always going to be free, and then now we have marketing free and service free, and it's just a great way to build your company.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Dan, you're renowned in the marketing industry for being high-level energy.
That's true.
I've got to ask, what motivates you? Have you got kind of, is it in your personal life? Is the family the main driving force?
Family is awesome. My beautiful wife, Amy, like 90% of the smart things that I say, I clipped directly for her. Like she says it, and then sometimes I give her credit, and sometimes...
Behind every great man, there's a great woman.
She is unbelievable. She travels with me all the time. She's the caregiver for our two beautiful kids. Right, my son Eli is doing great stuff in San Francisco. My daughter Sally in the University of Delaware. And what I really like to do is I really like to help people. I'm trying to do more good for the universe. And that's why I'm still at HubSpot like 12 years in. Because that's what HubSpot's trying to do. Right? We love helping your agency grow. And when we work with B2B marketing labs, that's what you do. You go to all these companies and you teach them how to grow, right? So now it's scalable, right? There's this process. The more people you can turn on to inbound, the less like swarmy salespeople out there who are pushing that are going to be like getting in trouble, and they're no good, and that's not going to work out. And the more people you're helping, the better it is for everybody. So the more good that I can do, and I tell that to everybody, right? The three things is, you're Rowley.
Yes.
You can do anything. And if you can't do something, sometimes you millennials think you should be like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg by the time you're like 22.
22.
Yeah. I'm not a billionaire. I must be a failure. And I'm like, no. You figure out what you want to do, and then if you hit a brick wall, and life is like hitting brick walls, then you figure out who can help you, right? And you call that person up. And if you can't think of somebody who will help you out, then just call me, and I'll connect you with somebody. I know. It's awesome. It's so great to be
helping again, Dan. Helping again.
I get 2 calls a month, right? People go, I don't think he really wants me to call you. But I give out my phone number all the time. I'm in the United States. You can Slack me, dtyre@hubspot.com. It might be a little slow to respond because I get 500 emails a day, but I'll be there and I'm happy to help, right? It's the most fun.
And that's it, you're incredibly active across social.
Yes,
you're an avid Instagrammer.
I am.
I get the odd like every now and again and a little boom and a fist bump.
I know. I'm a fist bumper, which I've been doing for 8 years, which is kind of funny. I don't know if you see 60-year-old men fist bumping all the time, but it works for me. And plus, I touch a lot of people, so you don't want to be like shaking my hand. I'm like a walking petri dish. Right? It's kind of my shtick. And the more people I can talk to, the more people that we can impact, the more businesses that we can grow, the more individuals we can teach about the new way of sales and marketing, the better it is for everyone.
Here.
Woo! That's what we're going for.
And last but not least, who's this little guy?
All right, that's the HubSpot Lion. Rowley, squeeze your lion. Show everybody. Yes. So Rowley is a graduate of the Pipeline Generation Bootcamp. Rowley was a great student. Right? The only problem is the organization he works for doesn't have like a lot of office space. So when I would see Rowley on the weekly webinars, he'd be like in the closet. He'd be like with the brooms and the mops and things like that. Exactly. So that was very funny. But Rowley successfully achieved his squeeze lion. Right, and so it's a prominent part, and I expect you to bring it back, put it on your desk, and be very proud.
And it was a group of 30 agency partners, wasn't it?
It was awesome, right? All over EMEA, right? And all of you wanted to grow better. You wanted to utilize the modern techniques of engaging, identify, and connect. And you were a great lion, and will continue to be a great lion. So thank you very much. And if agency partners want their squeeze lion, they can talk or apply to that program, and happy to assist you.
Yeah, you should. Definitely look Dan up. He's an interesting character.
Dan Tyre on LinkedIn, D Tyre 1 on Instagram, Dan Tyre 1 on at Dan Tyre on Twitter, Tyre, D Tyre 1 on Snapchat. Are you on Snapchat?
I'm not actually.
Okay. Why?
It's just never. It's one of those I've just never got into.
Yeah.
I'm an avid Instagrammer.
Yeah.
Kind of Facebook's on the back burner now.
Nice.
Instagram's my channel, Dan.
Yeah. I just saw a report. 25% of millennials have deleted Facebook, and it's all Instagram or WhatsApp. Yeah, but Instagram, I love Instagram. It's pictures. It's easy to move forward. You're all about pictures, right?
I'm all about stories, Dan.
You're
That's
all
what
about
I love.
stories. You're also photogenic, and you like sharing stuff.
Oh.
Oh, that's good. Maybe it's the beard. I don't know.
It's when I'm listening to people, active listening. It's always the beard stroke. That's all. That's what it's all about.
You gotta look up to the ceiling and stroke the beard. That's
so Dan.
See that? Yeah. See that? You could do like I don't know, the BBC or something like that. I know, it would be awesome.
There we have it. Recommendation. That is me joining the BBC. Tune in next week for more from Dan Tyre and Rowley.
I love the voice tone was perfect. I love it.
Dan, thank you so much
Boom, Rowley.
for spending
Always
some time with us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, and looking forward to helping more people.